All right, so if we're going to be using Desmos to make a graph of our name, then we need probably some tips to get started. And my first piece of advice is that this will not go perfectly. You're going to make a lot of mistakes that you're going to have to, back up and fix. You're going to make a couple of ugly little messes, and you know what? That's okay. It'll happen. You'll fix it. You'll learn, and you'll make a beautiful project. So the first thing I'm going to think about here, if we're just getting started here, then I'm going to start with the letter A. So I know what the letter A looks like. I can kind of visualize it in my head here. So if I'm thinking about a line to get started, well, I'm going to need 3 lines total. So let's say I want my line, my A, to go from 0, 0 up to, let's say 3, 5 right here. So my line, that will be up 5, right 3. So I'll need a slope of 5/3 that I can just type 5 divided by 3 and it will form that fraction for me. X. And then look, it's going exactly where I want it to. And then my y-intercept is 0, so I don't need to put anything else on there. So I've got the first part of my A value. Next, I want the other leg of A. So I want it to, now if I was looking at this and I decided, I actually want it steeper or less steep, I could make it steeper by increasing the value there. You know what? I actually kind of like that better anyway. So 6/3 is the same as 2. So if I have a slope of 2 for my leg here, great. Then I need the other side. I want it to go through the point 3, 6. And so if I want it to be similar here, I want a slope of -2. And I can think about where is it going to go in my y-axis. I could also use point slope form once we review that. But it looks like my y-intercept might be 12. So y equals -2x plus 12. Now, I happen to get that one right. If I needed a little bit more, if I needed to play around with that, trial and error there, that's okay. I can change it. That's the best part about Desmos. Now, what I'm not loving about this A is that it's got a whole bunch of extra pieces here. I just want it to be these little bits here. So I'm going to restrict the domain. I'm going to use the X values that I want and cut off the ones that I don't want. So I want my domain of this red graph to be just between 0 and 3. So back up here, my equation, I'm going to make a space and open a set of curly brackets. Those keys are right above your enter key. You do need to use shift. And so I'm going to say I want X between 0 and 3. And so now notice that once I have that on there, I've cut off the bits and pieces that I don't want. So, and I can do the same thing for my blue graph. I want this to be from 3 to 6. So again, I'm going to use those curly brackets and I'm going to say I want X between 3 and 6. And there it is. So now I'm a lot happier with the shape of my A, right? I don't have all those extra pieces, and now I just need the horizontal bit in the middle. So I know a horizontal line is just going to be y equals a number, so I'm going to try y equals 2. To me, that's a little bit low. Maybe what's y equals 3 look like? Ooh, not quite right. So how about 2.5? Ooh, I like it. Okay. So I've got it in the right position now. I just need to cut off, again, those loose ends. And what I really love about Desmos is that it will show me exactly what those X values are that I need to use. So I can go between 1.25 and 4.75 for my domain. So 1.25 is less than or equal to X is less than or equal to, and look, I accidentally put a comma in there. Okay, it was a mistake. It'll happen. And what did I say? 4.75? For me, that's the hardest part, is remembering what those numbers are, because they do tend to disappear, but it looks like I remembered it. So I've got my A all done. The only thing I wish is that I wish it was all the same color, but I can actually do that. I can make it all the same color using this edit list option. It's this little gear. And so I've got my 3 colors over here. I want it to be blue. So I'm going to make it all blue. Oh, now it's beautiful. Oh, I love it. So I can do any kind of line I want. I can use slope intercept form. I can use point slope form. I can make vertical lines, right? If I wanted, maybe if I'm going to make an I want a vertical line. So that'll be x equals a number. And I want it right here on the x value 7. Okay, that looks like a good position. If I needed to move it over, I could make it 7.5, but I like 7. Oops. So I'll just keep playing with that until I like that, and then I can cut it off. Right, I want it to be the same height as that A, so I'm going to cut it off between y is 0 and y is 6. So I can use the curly brackets to cut off pieces of the range, the y values, as well. So, like I said, it takes a lot of just trial and error and patience and a little bit of creativity here. Now, as you're making progress, if you like what you're doing, but you don't want to write all of this down, you can actually save your graph right here where it says untitled graph. If you click on that, it will ask you to agree and sign in using Google. This is the same as all of your other district Google sign in. So you can save your graph right there and come back to it by signing in. You can also sign in right over here. So play around with this. You've got plenty of time to do this, and I can't wait to see what you make.